All right. 30-day admin squat challenge. Day 29. I'm almost done with this fucking thing. That's amazing. I remember when I started and we were looking at the amount of work I would have to do on the last couple of days. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to do that. But I've basically already done it. I'm on the last 2 days, and it's not a significant increase from what I did a couple of days ago. So, just got to do that again. And it's 120 sit-ups, 190 crunches, 62 leg raises, 220 squats, and 115-second plank. So that's, if you told me like this is what you're gonna do today, I'd just be like, fuck you. But I guess it's not as bad this way. The psychology of what you can do with your physical limitations is very interesting because we're all much we're all capable of, our bodies are capable of much more than we realize. Our biggest hindrances are mental, by far. By far. So I'm going to break this up into 12 sets of 12 sit-ups, 19 crunches, 7 by 2 leg raises, and 6 by 8 leg raises, 22 squats, and then just the good old plank by itself. There's no easy way to do it. You just gotta do it. So I need to find another challenge. This was a good one. I don't know what else I could do next. I'm also doing Sober October, which is day 3. It's been okay so far. Was a little bored last night. That's all right. Yeah, I haven't been smoking that much weed. I think I've gotten high once in like the last 6 months. Yeah, once, maybe 5 months. And so usually, if you do that regularly and you stop, you get very vivid dreams, like super realistic, bright. Doesn't feel like a dream kind of dreams. You know, you wake up and you remember it very clearly, and you're still kind of in the middle of it, and you could, remember the sequence for throughout the rest of your day. You could probably write like a 2-page story about it. I'm not having that. Other than I'm dreaming more in general, but it switches from day to day whether or not I remember something, whether I don't, whether I retain it later in the day, or whether it just gets lost in like 2 minutes. It's very interesting. Maybe I should make a dream journal or something. It's always interesting stuff to write down. What your dreams are. They're always so fucking ridiculous. And these series of non sequiturs switching from like this scene to that scene back to this scene. Anyways, let's get this party started. Turn on the fan. Get a glass of water. Some coconut water. It's good for hydrating and stuff. For the uninformed, it does not taste like coconut at all. It is actually the water that is inside of a coconut. When you crack open a coconut, there's water inside it. If you go to Hawaii, they'll usually there's like a couple of local bros hanging out by the tourist spots with a truck full of coconuts, and they'll chop them up with a machete or whatever it is right there. Stick a straw in it, and you just drink right out of it. It's just like this. It's got some potassium, electrolytes, some good stuff. I find it refreshing. It's pretty good. shit. Because when you work out, you sweat out a bunch of electrolytes that you need for basically for your nerve functioning. And electrolytes are just minerals. They're just like salts, mostly. Different, iron, manganese, magnesium, nickel, blah, blah, blah. You don't need a tiny amount of all that stuff in order to not die. That's why when you hear a story about, it's usually like frat kids with the you drank 40 bottles of water, then they died because all their electrolytes got flushed out, and then basically your nerves don't work, so you can't send signals to do things like breathe or keep your heart beating, stuff like that. Anything in a large enough dose will kill you. I'm kind of stalling here. What is it? 19? 19. Man, the first couple rounds of crunches, they just, they burn. Oh, man. It's funny because it builds and builds and builds. And right when you get to your last rep, you release, that's when it all just goes, BAM! Suddenly rises, right? First two rounds. Two squats. 22. Let's lift this thing up. Just a pen. I've got a paper. Let's zoom this in so I don't forget. And that is one round done. Pat, pat. 62. Whew. This is like somewhere around this point. Usually the first bit's the hardest. I think because your body's like still, it's like trying to resist getting itself up and active into like workout mode. Once you're there, it's almost like it's like, all right, we're doing this. Let's fucking help him out. Let's help his brain out. Let's give him some endorphins. Let's let things go. In the beginning, it's like your body's just like, stop. No more. Go back to bed. Go sit on the couch. Hot. Alright, now 6 of these for the rest of the routine. Sometimes you're tough, like your balls get in the way. Got my shirts. I have more than 5 shirts. I just, whenever, I use my exercise shorts. So every day I put them in the laundry and I wash them when they're all done. And I've got 5 pairs of exercise shorts. When I wash the shirts, I take those and I just kind of, usually don't even put them away in the closet. I just like set them down somewhere flat and then I just fucking pick those up one at a time, so it ends up wearing the same fucking 5 shirts over and over again. That was 3. I need to do the squats still. Ow. That's 3. Oh. That's 4. It's interesting that the more you do it, they do get easier on the one hand, but on the other hand, you realize your form was shit, and that really most of what you were doing was just getting yourself being able to do it like properly for like the first time. You know, a lot of that, I guess it's like anything else. When you first learn it, you're terrible, and then you make a bunch of progress, and you get to a point where you're like, oh, actually, I missed the fundamentals. I'm stronger now, and I've got all this momentum behind me, but now I need to go back to the beginning and kind of start over from scratch, but do everything right. And I bet that's a process that repeats several times. Probably applicable to all sorts of things in life. I have a hard time with that, and sometimes the perfect is the enemy of the good, and I'll look for the ideal solution, or to get it just right on the first try, and then sometimes that prevents me from even getting started. Because I'm like, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do it right, so what's the point? But really, you still learn something. Hello? It helps to verbalize this stuff. This is like a therapy session for me, too. I think they're supposed to go hand in hand. Your physical health and your mental health, like they reinforce one another. You know, they just do. It's just how your fucking body works. There's no getting around it. And we just always want the easy solution. Like, either to believe something delusional, to take some kind of drug, to distract yourself, to take your mind off of things, to do it half-assed. It's normal, you know, it's normal as a human being. It's a defense survival technique. We're trying to conserve our energy. We're trying to be on the right side of things. We're trying to have personal integrity to some degree. Some more than others. Yeah, we're at a time in our history where our biggest challenges are ourselves. Like, humanity's biggest problem right now is fucking humanity. It's not the elements, wild animals, and for the most part, it's not hunger and disease. You know, those things are still around, but mostly have them taken care of. You know, it's having lives of meaning. You hear my dogs barking in the background. You know, fitting into society, feeling accepted, feeling loved from others and even within ourselves, because we don't do anything that makes us feel worthy of that. You know, if you're fighting to survive, you don't need to prove your worth. you're doing it every fucking day out of necessity. We don't have that anymore. It's creates a new set of challenges. And no, I say it like that. It's not fair. But it's there's a certain. It's not as rugged as it used to be. You know, you're not. I think it's why part of the reason it's hard to be a man is a lot of things that men were good for with our strength and our toughness. That shit is just not as necessary as it used to be. But it still is in a psychological way, and we still want to protect and nurture and help others grow. You know, I know a lot of that seems backward to a lot of people, but our biology hasn't changed that much, you know. Not since we've started living in cities and having iPads. Our society has changed a lot. Our culture's changed a ton. But we still are evolved monkeys. And we still have a lot of needs that we share with them. You want to know how human you are. Like, things that you think are human are not. It's monkey shit. It's dog shit. Like, get a dog, get a cat, get a monkey, get an intelligent creature. See what you have in common. It's a lot. There's a lot of things. A lot of human problems aren't just human problems. They're animal problems, and we're still dealing with that. We get it confused because we have this other layer that can analyze everything and is mixed up with everything down below. So it's hard to separate the two, especially when you're not taking care of the animal side. And not that our intellect isn't part of being an animal too. There's nothing special and magical about that. Nothing supernatural is going on. This is how amazing the universe is. Anyways, I'm rambling. All right. On your back commando crawl. I don't know what you call it. Back commando crawl. Good. It's 5. Halfway done. Ugh. Six. My cardio is it's not good, man. It needs improvement. Why, you ask? Well, many years sitting on my ass and not moving. Like, years. Literal years. Also, that's why my back is kind of fucked. Never mind the scoliosis. And then smoking. Sitting on your ass and smoking. And smoking, like, not cigarettes, weed. And it's like, oh, weed's better for you than smoking. Bullshit. You just fucking smoke a lot less of it. And it energizes you, so you move around more. At least it does for me. Well, depending on the strain. But you're smoking unfiltered, like, the stickiest of the icky, drenched in tar and resin. You know, that shit in cigarettes that they're like, this is what's bad for you, the tar. Weed, you're like, give me that tar. Or you're just smoking, like, pure fucking tar. You're doing fucking dabs and shit. And look, man, that's fun, that's all good. But there's, you know, you don't get anything for free. You do that for 10 years and sit on your ass, that's not a good recipe. And, you know, it's a lot better now that it's legal. Or at least legal in California and other states. But sometimes you get weed and it was of questionable quality. And not necessarily clean, you know. You could tell, it was like, it was harsh. Like either they didn't flush it when they grow it with these chemical baths, like particularly hydroponic. You're supposed to spend some time flushing it out for like, I don't know, a week or two, so that it gets all these chemicals kind of run out of the weed, and you just left with as pure of a product as possible. Or it would have might have pesticides on it, and like who fucking knows? Like, you don't know where it came from. It could be like some kid growing it in his fucking closet, you know. It could be from Mexico, you know. Some cartel brought it over. They don't give a fuck. Could be, you know, if you're lucky, it was like some hippie in his backyard or whatever, some dude out in the woods. But you'd never fucking know. Sometimes you'd smoke it, and it was just dirty. It was just, it was harsh, you know. Or it would like fucking spark. Like the bowl would fucking spark. It didn't fucking stop me from smoking it. I still fucking smoke that shit anyways. But that's still, I'm like, this ain't no good. I'm like, I'm probably getting fucking cancer right now. This ain't no good. This is bad. This is dumb. Like, this is dumb. Fuck it. I'm gonna live forever. No. But you don't stay young forever. When you're young, you can abuse the fuck out of your body and then just like wake up the next day feeling fine. You can't do that shit when you get older, you know. I'm only 40. It's not going to get better, you know. Maybe I'll get a little bit better, you know, if I really take care of myself, but I have to work my ass off for it. Kind of why I'm doing this. It's like,
I want to be able to enjoy, the next few decades of my life. You just don't think about that shit when you're young, unfortunately. Our society should be more responsible. It's like run by young people, which is good in some ways, but in other ways it's fucking stupid. Here. Oh. That is 7 done. 3 left. 3 left. You can't do 3 like this anymore. It's no good. It's no good. Because it's white power, which I don't believe in. I believe in people power. Because we're all people. We're all human. It's funny, it started as a joke, like on fucking 4chan or some shit. Like, let's get people to think that this means white power. And they spread this fucking meme all over the place. And then fucking white racists picked it up and were like, fuck, this is great. Yeah, I'm fucking taking this. And then some, I know, started doing it ironically, just to be trolls and assholes. But then it became the joke. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now that's what it is, man. I know. It doesn't matter if it started as a joke. It's changed. So now, if you ever watch Inglourious Bastards, there's this scene in the German bar where one of these Nazis comes down and he's like, they're talking and it's like really tense, but like with a veneer of civility. And they play all these games and blah blah blah. They talk about his accent, and the Nazi guy's like, he's really skeptical, and he's like, there's something up with these people. And he's about to let him go, and then the guy goes like, all right, one more round on me. And he goes like, I'll take 3 more drinks. And the guy's like, because that's how Americans do 3, and British and whatever. Germans do 3 like this, 1, 2, 3. So he knew that you would go, hey, give me 3 drinks. He's like, oh, that's not fucking right. And then they all fucking big shootout and they all kill each other. Anyway, it's a fucking great movie. Ow. Well, so my point is that they should all mean the same thing. It means 1, 2, 3, right? It should all mean that. But it fucking doesn't, because culture matters. Because nothing means anything inherently. This could be the middle finger, in some cultures. And this could be like, hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. I wish you well. It doesn't have any inherent meaning, There might be some, psychological reasons why certain things are more likely to mean one interpretation than another, but it's very malleable, and once you give culture thousands of years to work on something, that's 8 by the way, it all changes and it doesn't matter. It's like 3. So now, remember I used to say 3 like this, because this is how I would do it. I think because this kind of stresses this muscle here, and it feels tight, and I have really tight forearms, like going from here all the way up here. I have carpal tunnel, so now I do this. This is fine. 3, but yeah, it's funny how society, one thing that should be the same means something completely else, completely different. Like but like people of color and colored people. Theoretically, those should both mean the same thing, right? What does it mean? It means someone who's not white, basically, right? This refers to your complexion. As so white people don't have a complexion, but, there's a whole history behind the term colored people, which was used to oppress and denigrate and kill and humiliate a group of people for hundreds of years. And there's another one, people of color, which is something that same group of people has decided to put upon themselves as something that's empowering and unifying and shows solidarity with one another. Now, linguistically, it's like this. It's basically the same thing. Like it's like saying a book read, the book is read, or a red book, right? Or the red. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't fucking make a difference, but it does, unfortunately. Because there's history. Language doesn't just fucking appear out of thin air. We were born into this world without any of the shit. We didn't do any of the shit that happened to us, but it's there. And we have to deal with it. It's just how it is, man. It's just how it is. Embrace it. Go with it. Can't do anything about it. If you want to sit and argue about it's not fair and blah blah, like, yes, shit is not fair. Welcome to existence. And it's not fair mostly to your benefit. If you think of all the people that currently live on Earth, never mind all the people that have ever lived, the unfairness mostly tilts in your favor. You're doing better than people would have. Like, unfair now is like here. Unfair back then was like you're gonna get your fucking head chopped off or die from a toe infection or some shit. I don't know what I'm trying to say. When I think about these things and I see people fighting and arguing about shit that I know we can get past it. We can get through it. We will. We'll build a better society. We'll move forward. Anyways, I got 2 left. These little, I don't know what you call it. These little breaks are good. I get to kind of rant and also take a break. And that's 10. It's been a long one today. I guess I just spent a lot of time blabbing. This is a real exciting video. Just watching me breathe here. Alright, I have 1 minute and 55-second plank. Now that's always tough. 1 minute I can do no problem, but then it starts to hurt. Alright. Well, this plank ain't gonna do itself. Remember the Jetsons? They would have the Jetsons. Fuck. You probably don't even know what the fuck that is. This is a cartoon that was old when I was a fucking kid. But they still used to put repeats from 20 years ago on TV. Anyways, Family from the Future. Anyways, they would have these commercial bumpers where Exercise of the Future was George Jetson sitting back on his couch with like diodes attached to him, while this little George Jetson avatar on TV was like doing jumping ropes and jumping rope and doing jumping jacks and push-ups and all that shit. And Couch Jetson was just sitting back and getting all the benefits. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad. If you got the mental benefits too, of like determination and perseverance and what do you call it? Discipline? Like doing shit when you don't want to do it? I can do that in a second. Because then you'd be able to do it for real. You'd probably enjoy it too. Probably a whole culture of people that look down on other people that do that in the Jetson world. Like, oh, you don't really do jumping jacks and jump rope? So. Just one day left. Oh. Well, I know not a lot of people watch these things, but thank you for your time and attention, for sticking with me. If you did, if you're following along at home, hopefully maybe I inspired someone or gave someone a word of encouragement or advice. Something that helped. But if not, it was still worth it just for me. So, anyways, love you, and I'll see you later.